Yo, what's up, my dudes? I'm back with another video. This will be the final chapter of my Mechanized World fanfic. So getting to the first thing is basically, they actually get ready to, Ratatisker follows, Tenkas core into space, and then she actually has her sword, basically, my helmet, I think, and she summons that, and then the final fight actually begins, and Kurumi actually uses Ratatisker to actually weave around Tenka's core's attacks and actually deal damage. And actually try to deal damage with like a cannon of hers that Ratatisker actually has. And stuff, which is interesting though. Then getting it into the second phase of the battle basically is which I'm not really going to go into their actual anger, sorry, I accidentally, hit something by mistake, the actual, anger phase I will not really go into, because I don't really remember what other attacks this phase has, unfortunately, but I will get into what happens next after you beat her first phase. She actually goes down and actually connects DEM Industries, basically. She actually connects that to her, she actually connects the building, basically, to her, and then she actually pulls it off of the city, basically, and actually uses DEM's building for the next actual phase of the actual battle, because there are actually multiple bosses basically in this. There's not just one fight, there's three basically. This is the second fight basically, is when she actually pulls DEM's building back up into space and actually uses it for the next phase basically. And as soon as the health bar appears, basically DEM actually she uses DEM to have even more crazy attacks. I'm not kidding. This space has really good attacks, basically. And the one that I remember was that she could actually summon a black hole. Actually, she summoned a black hole. Actually, and actually tried to sucking basically all of the members of Ratatisker into this black hole. To actually deal damage, which is a really cool attack. It's probably one of my favorites, basically, because like, because it wasn't just Tenka's core attacking, it was basically DEM basically giving her new, attacks, and that was one of the attacks, actually. that DEM building actually gave her. Actually, it gave her that black hole attack. So if you're wondering how she has that attack, that is why, basically. That building gave her that new move, basically, which is arguably one of my favorites, actually. And then, I think, but then actually defeating that second phase, actually, goes into the final phase. And this is when it's actually, pretty interesting. Well, I mean, it's not as interesting as the other, phases, but I mean, it's still really, really cool. I don't know, I like the final phase probably more. I'm actually kidding. I actually probably like the final phase the most. The final phase, I'm not really gonna go into that right then, because this is when actually Tenkas Core actually falls, and they think that they've actually won. Suddenly, she actually opens up her eyes, and then she actually blasts Ratatusker basically dead on, actually destroying the entire freaking ship. By the way, she actually destroyed it with like one hit from the helmet, basically, and basically everyone flies out of the ship in space, mind you. Luckily, they don't really need space helmets because this is freaking a game, basically, which, I mean, it is basically Stayed Alive, but it's more of a game part type, actually reality. So I mean, at least the gameplay elements are basically game related, as well as the quick time events. It's how it actually all ties in to that. But I mean, it's really, really real, basically. I mean, it's still them actually being in danger and all that. But I mean, they just don't need space helmets for this. I mean, it just makes sense. So this actually destroying Ratatusker, Shido, and all of them actually go into space, and basically, and then this is when Shido and actually Tenkas Core have the final phase, and Shido using his sword's power, Sandofont's power, actually uses it for one final attack, which unfortunately Tenkas Core knew this and actually blocks the attack, signaling the final phase, actually the real final battle, basically. And she actually blocks it. The final health bar actually appears, and this is when and before this, actually, Shido's sword actually grew big to be able to counter her helmet sword, because it's not a small sword. So we needed to make it bigger to actually be able to actually block it, and actually attack, basically. So the final health bar appears, basically, and this is when the last quick time event actually happens, when I think she can even attack in this phase. I don't remember what her attacks are, though. I don't know if she can attack. I don't really remember, so I'm not going to going to say that just in case she doesn't attack. I don't really remember. But all I really remember is Shido actually winning, and then Tenkas Core finally losing, basically. And long story short, everyone actually is alright and basically celebrates, basically, that the world was saved and all that. And then right at the end, you get a cutscene of Tenkas Core being in space, somehow still alive, mind you. And this is when her hair color is actually green and stuff, which, I mean, if you played Kirby, you'll know what this means. which I will get into. She actually wakes up. Her hair is actually green this time around, basically a different color, and she's actually a lot stronger. And she actually says that she's Tenka's core soul. And then that is when she actually flies into the screen, basically still alive in space and all that. And then that is when the fanfic actually ends. No, I do not go in to the Tenka's Tenka's core soul actually fight. I just actually left that as like one final Kirby reference. Like, oh, it's not really done. You still have the soul form to go after. But I didn't really do that fight, unfortunately, for you guys. I just left that as a bit of a reference, because there are those actual fights in Kirby. And speaking of that, since Nintendo actually spoiled this, I'm actually allowed to spoil this. There is a new Coliseum in Star-Crossed Worlds, or plus Star-Crossed Worlds. So I don't know who the main antagonist is yet. I don't know if there is going to be a new form of the main of the new antagonist, or maybe even Factoophilis again. Personally, for me though, if there is a new antagonist, I do hope that there is a new form of the new antagonist instead, because personally, Factoophilis already got his new form. If it is just Factoophilis again, I don't mind him getting a third form. But considering if there is a new antagonist, I do hope that that new antagonist gets his own new form. Because, I mean, it's just fair, basically. And it would be more interesting. But that is basically going to be it, though, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And hopefully I'll be able to see those bosses within a few days. So, and some of the new enemies as well. And stuff. But we'll see. I hope you enjoyed this finale, basically. And this will be my last fanfic video for a while, because I'm going to gear up for that new game and then do a boss rush, basically, of every single new boss in Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed Worlds. I just don't know what the bosses are yet. So stay tuned for that, guys. I will be playing the crap out of that game. So, yeah, and that's why I wanted to get the rest of these, a Mechanized World, fanfic, all those chapters out, because I knew that I would be busy, with this new game, and I wanted to appease all of you guys by getting the whole series out of the way, so I could start on a new series, basically. So that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm running out of time, so I will just be going. Until next time, and peace out.